An annual luncheon in Chicago to support the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum and its critical mission of education. Today, we're learning more about the Together We Can Do More event and its connection to the National Museum. United States Holocaust Memorial Museum's Midwest Acting Director, Jed Silberg, joins us now with more. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
On a local level, on a national level, this is so important, and perhaps now even more poignant than ever, because the survivors are very few left.
That's true. That is absolutely true. We are a little more than 80 years after the end of the Holocaust, and so many of the survivors who made lives for themselves, had families, they're concerned about their legacy as they're starting to pass away, no longer be able to tell their stories firsthand. It's up to institutions like the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum to carry that on for them.
And those stories of survivorship and how people helped one another are really so gut-wrenching, but they give us all, I think, marching orders for the future, how to help each other.
Absolutely. And I think those stories and the lessons and the history of the Holocaust allows us to understand that it happened, and therefore it can happen again.
So let's talk about the luncheon, because while it is a sad topic in some ways, it is a wonderful opportunity to come together, and you've got a very special keynote speaker.
We do. We're super excited about our September 9th luncheon. Our keynote speaker is Susan Eisenhower, who is the granddaughter of President Dwight Eisenhower.
We're looking at some of the video of the speakers in the past and the luncheon from the past. Clearly you want people to attend the luncheon, but I know there are so many more opportunities for people to get involved. What would you tell folks at home if they were listening, and how to rally them?
I think the most important thing that people can do is understand that these resources are available. Learning and teaching about this history so it's not forgotten is critical. So we do it for the survivors. Everything we do is for the survivors and in memory of the victims. We're trying to drive people to our website, ushmm.org. There are resources for teachers there, for lifelong learners, for anybody who wants to learn more about what happened. And we also encourage people to follow us on social media, things that are timely, history that we're putting out there on all of our channels almost daily. So for people to really engage with us online and participate in our luncheon if they're able to.
But also attend the museum. And I hope folks at home know that there is one here. Correct. And then there is one in Washington, D.C. Both really worth the visit. And go with family members, generations, to talk about this.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's so wonderful. And you know, do people know enough about what's there?
At the museum in Washington, it's hard to say, but we have almost 1.5 million visitors to the museum in Washington every year, but increasingly we're redefining what it means to be a visitor to us as our presence online is growing rapidly. We have north of 30 million unique visitors to our website.
Wow.
Every year. It's translated into 20 different languages, so that visitation is from around the world.
So tell me, what has been the most rewarding part of this on a personal level for you, the connection?
Listen, I think this history, as I said before, we know that it can happen again because it happened in the past. We have, say, the luxury of knowing the history. I think working for the museum is one of the most meaningful things that I've ever done in my life and will ever be able to do. And as I mentioned, we do this for and we do this with the survivors. Our luncheon on September 9th, we're expecting over 75 survivors to be with us in attendance, which is an unbelievable number.
It really is. My jaw dropped. You all didn't see that at home, but when you said that, that's amazing.
Yeah, and we have a very special opportunity to show them that we still care about their stories, that we will carry their legacies on even when they're no longer able to do it. So that is by and far the most meaningful part of this job.
And it is a sensitive topic, I know, but there is a measure of anti-Semitism now in this country. And I think the education really does such a great job of putting that to rest and trying to quell that.
Well, trying to, I think, is the key. And if we don't keep trying, then anti-Semitism will run rampant in our country and around the world. You did hit on a very important note that anti-Semitism is a very serious and growing problem in this country, and where the U.S. Holocaust Museum can make a difference in that is to talk about Holocaust denial and distortion and minimization. And that's something that Susan Eisenhower's grandfather was very aware of. In April of 1945, as camps were being liberated, Ike went into a camp called Ohrdruf, and he looked around and he said, this could be chalked up to propaganda in the future. So he had all soldiers who were there, German townspeople, he brought in the media to say, this happened, and therefore it can happen again. So here he is, they're still fighting the war, 80 years ago, foreseeing Holocaust denial as a threat, and sadly, it's come true.
Yes, yeah, the foresight was really amazing. I'm sure the luncheon is going to be terrific. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. It is really so, so important.
We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
That Together We Can Do More luncheon is Wednesday, September 9th. If you want tickets or if you want to get more information, just head to ushmm.org or find them on socials. All of that information is on our website as well at wgntv.com/midday. We'll be right back.